What's up, YouTube? So today's topic, I'm gonna talk about the importance of staying true to yourself, the importance of like being self-reliant and having no one but yourself. I don't mean this like in a fucking stereotypical area where like everyone acts like, oh, you're supposed to be cold-hearted, or like you're supposed to like just screw everyone over and fuck everyone else and be here for yourself. I'm not talking about that. These people who do shit like that, they either been through some traumatic shit, or they don't know what the fuck they're talking about, or they like to be a follower and like perpetuate or to continue that information just like what they got from social media. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about where like at times in life where like you have to in a way where like you have to like not rely on people, not in a way where like you codependent on people, but in a way where you have to be aware of what people are capable of. Meaning like you can't fully trust people like that. I'm not saying be paranoid. Again, this from my own perspective, this doesn't have to resonate with you, but this resonates for me, that you can't really like how your heart is, how you're trustworthy, how like you're a reliable person. Most people that you come across with, if you're that type of person, then at least for me, it's best for me to not to like project that or to assume a lot of people are like that as well. Because in my life, I've always been around people who like where I kind of trusted, and like they've kind of like failed for me to trust them. Really, like they'll do some really, like they'll betray me in some way, where like they'll act like they care about me, they're there for me, and then they'll switch up, or like they'll would have a problem leaving my life at a quick fucking instant. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people ain't shit, man. A lot of people have nothing to offer. I've noticed too, like in most of my connections, most of my relationships, I'm always the type of person that has the most to offer. I'm always the person that has the most to offer. And these other people that I've dealt with, they don't have shit to offer. They have nothing to bring to the table. The reason why I'm even entertaining these connections is off of childhood trauma, but also where like I've always been around people to where I don't fuck with, or like I don't resonate with at an intellectual level. So it's like when I finally meet someone, especially when it comes to romantic partners, to where like there's that attraction and there's that a little spark of chemistry, then I'd be too attached to that person, and then I'll give my all towards that person. And that person may have the same feelings as me, but the problem is that person's not at my level. So this person doesn't know how to like they don't know how to like give that love towards me, but they also don't know how to receive it. So they can't give it towards me, then they don't know how to receive it, because most people are fucking shallow. Most people have no life experience. So when I'm in these situations, these people, they ain't got shit to offer, or even if they are trying, it's not gonna cut it when it comes to me. You know what I'm saying? So, and like, especially women, a lot of women are stuck up. A lot of women are just fucking like, they're entitled, man. They're fucking entitled. They think the world owes them something. It does like most of them do the same shit, man. Because Chantuan is right, man. Chantuan, he's right. Like most women, like in dating market, it's in America, like they think that like they're entitled to certain things. They think that like they deserve a fucking good man, or like they deserve all this shit, when they themselves can't bring that same shit to the fucking table. And those bitches complain about every man, or they attract every man that they ain't shit. But if they're so special, then why can't they attract the very man that they want? You know what I'm saying? So Chantuan, he has a good point. A lot of women are like that. But I'm not talking about just like with relationships, but with people in general. Like a lot of people, they have backstabbed me, they betrayed me, they've stolen money from me. And before that, it was always a good connection. Like I thought this person had my back. I mean, they probably did have good intentions, but they feel like if someone's too like, if they feel like they trust you, or if they feel like you're such a good person, they're gonna abuse that power, because a lot of people, they're just so fucked up mentally, and they can't control their desires. So they'll eventually fucking you over or screwing you over. That's how fucking pathetic people are. Most people are in America. So like, it's fucking ridiculous. So as I'm getting older, that's why I'm learning. Like, that's sometimes approach in most relationships. I'm not like most people. I'm not fucking dumb. I'm not saying like I'm not one of those people, especially people who talking on social media, where like, oh, you know, I'm gonna be cold-hearted, or like I'm nonchalant, or I don't care. Nah, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about where like, because I could tell when someone's well, sometimes you can't tell, because people are that manipulative, and people are just naturally unpredictable, because they're ruled by their emotions, they're ruled by their nervous system. So of course you never know when they're gonna switch up, you know. So, but what I'm saying is that obviously if I feel like there's a good connection, either romantically or platonically, then yeah, I'm gonna give that same energy back. But at the same time, I'm still gonna have my guard up, knowing that they can switch up at any time. Or like just how I approach connections, I have to be more on a defense, and not being 100% defensive, but more so like be wary of people's motives and shit like that, because a lot of people, they are two-faced and they can switch up at you on the instant. Why do they do this? One, there's so many reasons why. Childhood trauma, abandonment issues, rejection, their upbringing, the shit they were subjected to, the things they grew up in, but also like they don't know themselves. They're not doing the healing work, so to project that shit, and they don't have a problem with turning their backs on you or using you or stealing from you or betraying you. They don't have a problem doing that. This is why you always see males and females always gossiping about others at the fucking workplace, and they won't shut their fucking mouths up. They always got something negative to fucking say because they're fucking miserable. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people are like this, so just keep in mind. So if our experience of this, you're not necessarily tracking this shit. It's more so a lot of people are like that. So this shit gets fucking annoying. It is annoying. So it does suck though. But yeah, childhood trauma. They're based on the environment they grew up in. They don't know themselves. They don't do the healing work. But not only that, but they're not willing to do the healing work. So they can have the answers. They can have the guidelines and steps in front of their face. But are they gonna do it? No, the fuck they're not. Because they don't believe themselves. They don't love themselves. And more likely that comes down to childhood trauma. They grew up in a family that they don't fucking love them, so they don't have a problem with not doing the healing work and fucking over other people, and then they wonder why their lives are so shit or they're not happy. They like to blame everyone else, but they don't like to look within themselves. So and there's a lot of more factors that's out there, but I'm not gonna mention it because I can't remember. But yeah, so this shit gets annoying though. I'm starting to realize this shit and usually if you're the type of person where like you do a lot of healing work, you have a lot to offer, you have a lot to bring to the table when it comes to connections, and you have more self-awareness and you have a good heart, then unfortunately you're gonna attract people who are like kind of the opposite. People are inconsiderate, people like empathy, and people may say, oh, because you're attracted to that, or how your mindset is. I do believe that's true to a certain degree, but at the same time, I do feel like genuinely like there's a lot of people that are just fucked up like that. So it's not necessarily you attracting that. It's not your fault at all. It's more so just a lot of people are like that. And even if you are quote unquote attracting that, it's still not your fault, because more likely you grew up out of a dysfunctional family. You grew up with people who are very fucked up. So eventually that's gonna make you fucked up. And you watching this part thinking that I'm being like hypocritical. No, like, the difference between a person who's fucked up and a person who's not fucked up is the person who's not fucked up, they grew up in the same environment as a person who's fucked up. But the difference between them two is that the person who's not fucked up, they're actually aware of it and they do the healing work to better themselves and to heal themselves. The person who's fucked up, they grew up in the same environment. They could be aware, but they're not willing to do the healing work. They're not willing to better themselves, either because it's too painful, or they don't love themselves enough, or they don't believe themselves. So therefore, you have two people who grew up in the same environments, but both of their life situations are a lot different. Because one person who's not fucked up, they're able to get out of that situation. They're willing to put in the work, so they don't want to be like the person they were subjected to. That's what I'm getting at. But that person who's not fucked up, they're still gonna attract people who are fucked up, and it gets frustrating. So this is why I make this video. You know, so because I know people who also experience the same shit I'm experiencing. I'm experiencing this too. So just know that, yes, it is good to self-reflect. It is good to be self-aware. Any connections is always two people who are at fault. But at the same time, don't put too much blame on yourself. More so, there's a lot of people, they're just so entitled these days. They're just so stuck up. They're fucking stupid because of social media and on their phones and the atmosphere, the foods, the chemicals, and the energy you're coming into. A lot of people are fucking dumb. So don't take it personal, especially women out here when it comes to the dating market. I blame the society too, because like I said in my previous videos, the society, it keeps people limited, it keeps people stuck. It traumatized a lot of people, because why I say this, because you can't move around the world, you can't do your own thing, you can't really live life unless you work for the system, i.e. be a slave for the system, being overworked and underpaid just to afford a fucking car, house, food, water, shelter. You're being a slave just to afford basic things that are in your birthright and your human right to have for free, pretty much. But we live in a world ruled by pedophiles and child traffickers and evil ass people. So this is why it's hard for people to get out of the situation, because these types of people that I mentioned before, child traffickers, pedophiles, etc., they rule this fucking world. They've been doing this shit for thousands of years, pretty much. These may sound like bloodlines. And the fact that this reality, such as God or the universe, are allowing this shit to happen based on the rules and regulations of this fucking planet. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it gets deep. There's a spiritual aspect to it, and there's a societal aspect to it. But there's different ways you can combat that. So doing more healing work, knowing more about yourself, focusing on the things you can't control versus things you can't control. You can't control people's moods. You can't control people's emotions. You can't control how the fuck people act towards you, because a lot of people are fucking stupid. It's not normal for people to betray other people. It's not normal for people to backstab and to do all this dumbass shit towards people. But unfortunately, in this timeline, people are just more barbaric. They're more weak, and because of the society. So this video is trying to tell you that just focus on things you can't control. First, it's like, so you can do a lot of soul searching. You can figure out what you like. You can focus on your passions. You can focus on like try to go to that school, try to go to that gym, do emotional healing work, learn about shadow work, learn to like travel around the world. Just do what you got to do that makes you happy and that you're genuinely passionate about. So build that short-term success, but also build that longer-term success. Like, if there's a profession you want to master, if there's a type of career you want to get into, if you want to start your own business, if you want to have your own YouTube channel, if you want to start an internet business, it can be anything. If you want to like lose weight, you want to trying to gain some muscle, do what you got to do that makes you happy. They always wanted to do. Trying to find things where you can't control. These things you can't control. Yes, we live in a flawed and an unfair and an evil ass society. So you do have to go through a lot of loopholes and inconveniences and certain bullshit just to get those things. But I feel like that's a lot better dealing with the average person who's fucking unpredictable as fuck. You get what I'm saying? A lot of people are dumb. A lot of people stay stuck in their comfort zones, and that's dangerous, because when they do that, then they don't have a problem with projecting towards people, finding faults in other people, and like doing people dirty, doing people wrong. You know what I'm saying? Now, people say karma is a real thing. It gets complicated because karma, I've heard many theories that like karma, it doesn't happen right away. It depends on the situation, but it can get people like 30 years from now. I've heard theories where like karma, it's how affected people are, they where they are, that's their karma. Which is, either way, I'm not saying karma is bullshit, but don't rely on karma to have these people change. A lot of people, they're not going to change their ways. A lot of people are stuck up. A lot of people are fucking stubborn. A lot of people are just fucking idiots. Karma's not doing shit. If karma is that effective, then this world wouldn't be the way it is, with fucking Masonic bloodlines and pedophiles ruling over this world for thousands of years, and it's just ongoing. If karma is a real thing, they decided it wouldn't be the way it is. You know what I'm saying? So karma, I'm not saying it's not real. I do believe it's real. I've seen it happen. I've experienced it myself, but don't rely on it, because it's not as effective, in my opinion. It's not going to do anything. It's only up to the person. It's up to the people. It's up to the collective to change their fucking ways, pretty much, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? That's why this has been ongoing for since a long ass fucking time and shit like that. So, but yeah, a lot of people ain't shit. A lot of people I don't take seriously no more. They're just dumb. They lack, it's out of hurt, it's out of trauma, and a lot of people are weak. They don't have the like self-awareness. They don't have the courage or the strength to heal, so they like to project that shit towards people. They like to think that everyone's like this, you know. So be careful with people, be mindful, and no, we're all not perfect. We all have flaws. So I'm not saying it's perfectly, I wouldn't say it's all right, but it's okay for you to act paranoid, defensive, but try to heal from that and try to not let it affect your life to the point where you're pushing people who are actually genuine by your side. Don't push them away, because that is a thing that does happen. But this video is more so talking about like, be aware of the average human's true nature, of what they're capable of. Because just like what Chauncey once said, he made a great point. A lot of people, they have we all have a nervous system. We all feel emotions. We all feel pain. And we can't really trust someone who feels pain and who has a nervous system and who has emotions. All of the decisions we make, the things we do, mostly run by emotions and our nervous system. You can't trust a human being. And shout out to Chauncey one, because he mentioned something like that. He made a great fucking point. So to be true to yourself, be careful. Don't give your full trust onto people. Not saying be paranoid. Don't be defensive. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is be aware of what people are capable of. Don't rely on your happiness fully on that person, your partner, that friendship, or anything in general. Life is unpredictable. Anything can happen. Why's my throat chakra acting up, man? But so I'm probably saying some real shit. But yeah, just be careful, man. A lot of people are just fucking like, they're just so unpredictable as fuck. And I've experienced this shit a lot. Where like, I've been in connections to where like, especially like romantic ones, where the feelings were genuine. I mean, I want to say genuine, but I would say both of the feelings seems mutual. Like, there was a good conversations. But looking back, most of these things, I'm always a person that has to put in the most work. I'm the person who always has the most to offer. And these people, they're so fucking low, and then they just ain't shit. Like, it's like I'll give them, like, I'll project my traits onto them, and it's like I'll always give them the benefit of the doubt, only for them to like disappoint me or for them to do some bullshit. Even if they are trying, it's like they still got nothing to offer. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? So, and the reason why I'm stuck in these connections is because I've always been around people that I don't fuck with, or I don't feel connected to, or I don't want to connect with. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so of course, and we live in a society where it isolates you. There's no communities out here. There's like, you can't really do anything unless you work for the system. No one goes outside. It's like, how society is set up is gonna make the average person feel traumatized and lonely, because there's no activities for people to hang out, or there's no communities. Yes, there's gyms, there's parks and shit like that, but I'm not talking about that. It's like everything is solely based on buildings, businesses, work areas, and schools, and you get what I'm saying? And all that shit revolves around money. You can't make money unless you drain your energy through this system. So you're not really free. You're just participating in a system that's fucking like a prison, pretty much. That's what I'm getting at. So like, if the average human being subjected to that shit, yeah, they're gonna crave a connection. But what happens if you're around people who aren't doing healing work, who aren't knowing themselves, and you're around the wrong types of people? Yes, you are gonna get attached to the wrong types of people. You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? It's fucking crazy. And for some people, they can't really get out of their situation, meaning they can't really travel around the world. They can't leave that house. They can't get out of that hometown because of the money system. A lot of people are trapped because of that. Do you think that people would stay stuck? Do you think people are stuck in these karmic connections and this shitty ass job and these bullshit ass living environments like the projects and all this other bullshit? You think people will happily? Do you think people actually enjoy staying in there? No, they don't. But the reason why they have no choice but to complain, but to not make any moves, because they don't have the resources or the finances to get out of that situation, because we live in an evil ass society. We live in a corrupt, controlled ass society ruled by fucking pedophiles for over thousands of fucking years. So yeah, it's gonna be hard for people to get out of their situation, because they don't have enough money basically to get out of that situation. How do you make money? You work for the system. But what happens if you don't want to work for the system? What happens if you don't want to drain your energy? What happens if you don't want to be a slave for the system? You get what I'm saying? Like, it's fucking crazy. It's fucking ridiculous. Especially people have like families they gotta feed, and all those other obligations and loved ones they gotta take care of. Just like what Chauncey once said, this is why people commit crimes and they do criminal activities, not because they're naturally evil people, but because they're trying to get out of their situation that's gonna help best work for them, their situation, and their family. You get, and that what makes the system fucking evil. Shout out to Chauncey Wan. This is why he said there's a lot of crimes and bullshit going on around here, because of this system, because it's evil, it's flawed. Crimes are no way to show how evil this system is. Shout out to Chauncey Wan. This is what he said. He's right. But yeah, just it's frustrating though, knowing that, like, because I'm starting to have like realizations that in every connection I've been in, I'm always that person that has the most to offer. I'm always that person who has the most to teach that person, like, new things when it comes to love, knowledge, information, effort, and stuff like that, man. And these people, they can't offer the same fucking shit in return. The reason I'm even attached to these people is because most people are fucking lame, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? So this shit gets fucking, and it's that attraction too when it comes to romantic connections. It's that attraction. But it's just like, if you can't offer the same shit I'm offering, why the fuck am I even around you? You know what I'm saying? Like, the fuck off my face, dude. These bullshit ass karmic cycles and these soul to soul connections. Get the fuck out of here. Like, people ain't shit, man. And these same people, like, I'm always doing better than them. Always doing better than them. These same people, I'm like, I have a tough time like detaching from. When it comes to these connections, they're always doing worse than me. It always happens like that. Even with like family members, friendships, like romantic partners, all that shit, dude. It's just fucking annoying. This is where you get your karmic cycles from, your soul contracts, and all this other bullshit that the average human has to experience. And this bullshit ass reality that's corrupted. You know what I'm saying? But just keep your head up. Just know that a lot of people aren't like that. But just not be on guard, but just be aware of the human nature, especially in this timeline. Stay true to yourself. Focus on the things you can't control, such as shadow work, healing your trauma, focusing on your careers, your long-term goals, your short-term goals. Be fit, exercise, go for runs, lift weights, go to the gym, stretch, yoga, do some fasting. Cleanse your colon, cleanse your emotions, cleanse everything. Clean your environment, clean your car, clean your house. Take care of yourself, groom yourself, have good hygiene, better yourself. Those are the things you can control, and you will attract. I'm not saying it's a guarantee because I've done those things, and I'm still attracting the same dumbass people. But the more you put yourself in a situation to where you're very successful, the less bullshit you have to tolerate from the average loser ass person. Not saying it's a guarantee because a lot of people are like that, but just know that it's best to focus on things you can control versus things you can't control. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I gotta say, and have a good one. Peace.